Hey everyone, it's Epris Powelson from New Harvest Apostolic Church, and I'm here today to do the Dig Deep devotional for Tuesday. It is glorious and it is wonderful out here. We've been having fall-like weather in the beginning of August, so I'm not complaining. I wanted to talk to you about a couple things, see where it goes, how it rolls, what's going to happen. I wanted to talk to you about the fact of what if we walked around and had a sign plastered upon our chest that said some work required, or a work in progress, or some assembly required, or anything like that. If we were upfront and honest about the fact that we are not put together, do you think we would have more compassion, more generosity, more understanding towards people? Well, as you walk around, just imagine people having those signs on them, because nobody has everything put together. Nobody has everything. They are working their way towards the common goal of having it all together. I think we would be more compassionate if we were just honest, but it's none of anybody's business, to be honest. It isn't. But we have to remember those things. We have to remember that people are going through something. Even if we wouldn't take it a certain way, we need to be understanding and know that people are taking things, or they are rolling with the punches, as we say. They are dealing with things differently than maybe I would deal with them or you would deal with them. And that is okay. So one of the things that I wanted to get to is that we all have work required. We all have some things that we need to work on. We are not perfect. We are not whole. We are not 100%. Some assembly is required when it comes to putting the pieces back together that have maybe fallen out in certain situations. And we need to be compassionate towards people as they're going through their processes. We need to be compassionate towards people as they're doing their things, because not everybody does things the same way. So, as we're growing as Christians and making ourselves better, there are building blocks that we can assist with, and that is important. We want to make sure that if we're not going through the same situation or have never gone through the same situation, we want to make sure that we are lining people up with somebody who maybe has, or with scriptural notes that can help with the situation that is going. And I'm not talking about just spouting off scriptures and saying oh, this one, this is the day that the Lord has made, we need to rejoice and be glad in it. Okay, yes, great scriptures, but just me saying it isn't them getting into the word. So open up the Bible, give Bible studies, do things like that. We were wanting to do the spiritual building blocks of life, and in order for somebody to put the pieces back together or to work on themselves, we need to give them the things that are necessary in order to do that. So one of the things, the Bible, huge. Introducing them to God is monumentous when it comes to growth and healing and everything. We know that they do not a lot of times, or even if they do, sometimes you can forget. Sometimes it's not even 100% known to them that this is a situation that God would care about, or it's just not, they think it's too small. Let's just go with that. Okay, so I had to get a battery for the car. God still cares about that. He cares about the financial need or the financial desire, or just the fact that I didn't know how to put a battery in a car. So he understands those things. It may be small, but I can still pray about it. I can be in the moment and praying about, Lord, give me wisdom to do this. Give me the idea in order to figure out who to call or what to do in order to figure out this situation. He cares about those situations. It's minor. And you guys might think I'm crazy, because even though that is something that you maybe have done before, I had never put a battery in a car before. I'd watched it been done before, but I've never done it before. So, you know what? It's new. I needed an instruction manual. I needed some assembly required. And now that is the building block that I have now put into myself that I know how to do. So I'm not unknowing anymore. I learned it, and it is awesome. I feel great. Yes. So, but there are different things. It doesn't have to be something that's traumatic. It doesn't have to be something that's detrimental. It doesn't have to be anything. It could just be a learning process. It could just be something that you are wanting to know. There is some assembly required, or there is a work in progress plastered across your chest saying, I am not done. But we forget that. We forget that nobody's done. The only time that we are done is when God calls us home. That's it. That's when we're done. And so remember the sign plastered on everybody's chest. Mentally, remember the sign. Everyone is a work in progress. Everyone has things going on. Everybody is wanting to grow. Everyone's wanting to do these things. And if you're not, and if you're growing in God, if you're a Christian, if you're wanting to grow, and you're not a work in progress or a working to grow, something's wrong. That means you've gotten complacent, and that's not a good place to be. We want to make sure that we're constantly and consistently building and making something better of ourselves, and that we're not staying complacent, because guess what? I've fallen. I've fallen before. You've fallen before. We've fallen before, so we have to build back up. We don't get to just fall and then start back up here, kind of like those video games where when you die, you just respawn like right where you were. Sometimes it takes you back, but sometimes it takes you where you were, sometimes it takes you back, but sometimes you have to start from the beginning. It just depends on the situation. So remember that as you go through your days, is that we are all a work in progress. Let's look at the world with those eyes, with those goggles on that help us to view people, as works in progress. That we will have more grace and mercy in our hearts, because we know that everybody is working towards a common goal, because we are not done. Have a wonderful and blessed Tuesday. Bye.